What is up, world? What is up, world? What is up, world? We are DC4L. We are Dallas Cowboys for life. You're watching the Cowboys Global Cast. And of course, you got your usual suspects, myself and Autumn the Aries. Autumn, what's good, man? How you be?
Oh, happy Monday. How was your long weekend?
Long. I had to work all weekend. I worked Friday, Saturday. You know what I'm saying? Sunday, Monday are my days off. So it is
Okay.
what it is.
All right.
I said,
Do you get like a floating holiday or anything though?
nah. They just like, hey, congratulations.
See, see you on the fourth.
Yeah, that's all it was. Hey, congrats. You working. You got a job, buddy. I mean, honestly, so we are here for another great week of Cowboys Global Talk. I am excited. I'm just, exuberated. We're that much closer to some real football and some football popping off, right? Of course, I'm not gonna say that the football that's happening in Oregon is not football, but we talking about NFL football. You know what I'm saying? NFL football. And look, we want you to like and subscribe, like us on Facebook, subscribe on YouTube and Twitch so that you go live. You'll definitely get those notifications. And look, I'm excited. Like I said, Autumn, we gonna get into this thing, man. Safety City, man. Safety City. We gonna talk about it. This was a place I used to go when I was a kid, and the name kind of reverberated. I learned how to drive at Safety City. I don't know if you ever had the y'all had the experience of going when y'all were kids.
Yeah, we had Safety City. We
Yeah,
had
see.
Safety City, and we had it was a dog. Not McGruff. No, was it a dog? We had like a bunch of little things going on with Safety City, but yeah, with the police and all that stuff, yeah, it was cool.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. Hey Martin, hey Autumn. Martin, I'm supposed to tell you that Chris can't make it to the live, but he'll watch it later on tonight. Chris. Oh my gosh. All right. Thank you, Chris, and thank you, Christine. Thank you both for being here. Man, we're gonna get this party started. We're gonna get this party started quickly. We'll be right back after this. And so we're talking, man. When I thought about what you said, she said in reality is because Chris' wife won't let him out. Oh my God, Christine, don't air him out. Don't put him out there, Christine. Don't put him out there. Hey, so in reality, I think you're right. There was something about a dog. There was something about a dog that was a part of, huh?
Was it McGruff?
It wasn't the crime dog. McGruff's the crime dog, but there was a
It was
dog.
City, yeah.
There was a dog involved in there somewhere. I don't. I don't know. Maybe it's part of the Mandela effect, and we're both messed up. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. But man, we're talking tonight about the safeties on the Dallas Cowboys football team. I gotta. We've all talked, and we're going to talk about Caleb Downs, the original Ohio player. You know what I'm saying? We're going to
Yeah.
talk about him. We're definitely going to get there. But I think the person that has been looked over in this whole offseason is Jalen Thompson.
Jalen Thompson. How did I know you was gonna say that?
I think Jalen Thompson is a dog. PJ Locke's a dog too. He's a Texas boy. I love that. But when I think about Jalen Thompson was a great safety, pretty really good for Arizona. He's made some great plays that just fly under the radar. Arizona was just so bad. The Cardinals were so bad that Buda Baker and Jalen Thompson. These guys flew under the radar. You didn't really talk about them much because Arizona was, hot garbage. But Christian Parker, CP, being the guy that he is, and being the whisperer to DBs, I think we're going to get a big year out of Jalen Thompson. Jalen Thompson is 27 years old, 27 years young. He will be playing in the free safety position for the Cowboys. Excuse me, I'm sorry, strong safety position for the Cowboys. Malik Hooker will start that free. But tell me what you think about this Jalen Thompson pickup, because I think it was pretty big. I think it was pretty big for the Cowboys.
Well, I thought it was interesting that, I mean, with all of the talk about Brendan Sorsby in the supplemental draft, like it's something that you hardly ever hear about when, you know what I'm saying, like supplemental draft, because it's kind of rare. And when in doing a research about him, I realized that he came through the supplemental draft and he's still around, like, which is pretty cool. You know what I mean? Like you said, he was with Arizona. It doesn't look like he did. It doesn't look like he was bad. It looks like he was holding his own at Arizona. So he's consistent. He looks like he's pretty consistent and can pretty much cover tight ends and running backs. And I think it's a good pickup.
Yeah, I mean, he had the reputation of being a toolsy. He's what you would call toolsy. He can do a lot. He's very good and highly versatile, right? And here's the thing, and I said this recently. When you have a dog at free and strong, now you can use the other toolsy player, the Ohio player, any which way you want, right? Caleb Downs can be used in several different positions because now you got people who actually play the position. Before we had, Dono, and I ain't gonna lie to you, Dono, who was number 6 last year for the Dallas Cowboys, was always out of place. He was slow, but he can hit. Now he would make a play or two here or there. He can hit, but he was slow, and he couldn't cover molasses. You know what I'm saying? He couldn't cover molasses on a cool freezing day. You know what I'm saying? And that's bad. Especially in the NFL where the wide receivers are getting younger, faster, and quicker, and the quick twitch. So it's like, I'm so glad we replaced him. But like I said, you get down to Caleb Downs, you get down to Jalen Thompson, you get down to Malik Hooker. You got guys who can actually play the position. Christine said, how is Downs looking so far? I would have traded all of our stupid 12 picks to get Downs. He's that guy. He's the original Ohio player. Definitely, he's that guy. Best guy on that defense. And they had 3 defensive players go in the first round of this draft. But so when like you said, he went in the supplemental draft. He's been around since 2019, right? So he's a veteran. He's a veteran in the league. And I think having veterans for CP is very important. How do you feel about him being a veteran cog on this safety squad for the Dallas Cowboys?
I think it's important. I think it's important. I think it's important to have veterans around Caleb Downs specifically. And I think that, and in seeing this, I see that like Malik is the only one that has the only safety that has come back. Like the only safety that they have from like maybe like from last year or whatever. So I think it's important. Like I said, he looks, on paper he looks pretty consistent. I can't say I paid too much attention to him last year, but he looks pretty consistent. And
he's the Cardinal.
Yeah, that's
yeah.
We need. I feel like teams need veterans. You know what I mean? Like real veterans that's been around and that have been consistent. Not anybody that's just there just because they take no space. But it looks like he did his job best he could at Arizona.
Right. I mean, his stats. If you're concerned about his career stats, 578 total tackles, 397 solo, 181 assisted, 2 sacks, 2 forced fumbles. Let's see here, 9 interceptions. ball hawk. I like that kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? 9 and 7 seasons, which means he's got at least one in one in one and a half every season, which is a good thing because we need takeaways. Jalen Thompson, I'm excited to have him at our strong safety position. Now let's look at Malik Hooker. Malik Hooker, the second Ohio player. Well, he's the first one for the Cowboys. But he came from Indianapolis. We got him. He's an Ohio State vet. He's 30 years young. Plays 24, plays free. What do you think about us keeping Malik Hooker? And you said, he's not the only one. He's close to the only one that we've kept. But what do you think about us keeping Malik Hooker?
Well, I was saying like out of the four that we're looking at, I guess it's unless I read that wrong, but I think that it speaks to his game that he is still here because again, from what I keep picking up and what I've read and what I've watched, the defense was terrible all the way around, just about. So
Garbage.
so for them to have kept him on board means that the potential is there. Like, he may not have met like his entire ceiling at the Dallas Cowboys so far. So that speaks to me. Like that's something for me. So
Well, he didn't under with Dan Quinn, he had some really, really decent years, man. I mean, played 15 games, 16 games, and then 17. But he only played 12 games last year, 52 tackles, 28 solo, 24 assisted, no interceptions. The year prior, he had two interceptions. He had a bingo in one of those, and that was when we had oh my gosh, big tall boy. I gotta remember his name back there at safety. And again, when Malik had help at safety, he was competent. He was very competent. You know what I'm saying? He was one of those that you got excited about. Malik Hooker, I was excited about him playing safety and definitely interested in him doing so.
the reason why
But
he played 12 games though last year.
he was hurt. He had got hurt. I think it was a high ankle sprain that he
Okay.
ended up getting last year. But again, he played 4 years with the Colts, and he has been here in Dallas 5 years. So he's been 5 years with Dallas. So Dallas has become a home. I'm looking forward to seeing what Malik Hooker can do. Now, there's been some interesting developments, Autumn. They're looking at rolling him in a trade. I've heard of his name reached or mentioned in trade for a linebacker from Miami, Jordan Brooks. I've seen that floated out here a couple of times. If you ask me, I don't think. I mean, Caleb Downs would be better in the star or the nickel position. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to see us trade Malik and then put Caleb back there. You know what I'm saying? I really, like I said, when you have a full safety complement, you're able to kind of use Caleb the way that you desire to use him in like a star position, and he can drop down into the box, and he's another safety who can play that the run and play the pass, and you need that. You need that for real. So
Yeah,
I
no, like after this season, after they see how Caleb does this season and see that he more than likely is as versatile, you know what I'm saying? Like we'll be able to better see like where he fits best, right?
and I like it. I like it. I would again. I'm with you. Let him play. Let him play out this season. And let's see what it looks like. But don't trade Malik Hooker. I think it would be a bad move to pull the rug under Malik Hooker. Next safety I want to talk about is of course the Ohio player Caleb Downs. I'm gonna let you talk about Caleb.
You know what I'm saying? So Ohio State was able to grab Caleb Downs, after Nick Saban left. Shout out to Nick Saban. Glad you went on ahead and left, got us a quarterback. And a good old safety out of Caleb Downs. He was only with well, he was with Ohio State last year, 24 to 25 or whatever. And he was great. I mean, like there's there has not been one bad word spoken about Caleb Downs, and that's from top to bottom. I'm talking his the way that he is out there on the field, the way that he is a leader, the way that he's able to pick things up. Um, Matt Patricia has said on several occasions how he was so impressed with how he was able to grasp the level of grasp the level of plays that Matt Patricia was putting out, because y'all know Matt Patricia came from the NFL, whatever have you. So there's never been I have not heard anything bad about Caleb Downs. He's definitely a dog. When he was at Alabama, he had 100 in 2023. He had 107 tackles, two interceptions, three pass breakups. With 2024 at Ohio State, 82 tackles, two interceptions, six pass breakups, and then 2025 he was the Big Ten Defensive Player of the Year. He got the Jim Thorpe Award, Lot Trophy winner. I mean, you know what I'm saying? We have a full package in Caleb Downs, and we know we've seen the footage. We've read about him going to the Cowboys and how he has just been very impressive and hasn't even played one down of NFL football yet. So it's exciting to see. He's a rookie, but his leadership skills is what's going to be what helps to fuel that defense, in my opinion.
And you know the thing that really excites me about Caleb Downs, he was the best player in this draft.
Hmm.
How did we wind up with the best player in this draft? Oh, I
Yeah, I
mean,
don't know, man. I think it's just our year.
it,
I think it's just our year. Like, you know what I mean?
the best player. Listen, I was smiling like the Cheshire Cat. Christine was right. Like, you know what I'm saying? I think a lot of teams would have gave they left leg to go ahead and draft Caleb Downs. He was the best player in the draft. And that's just not, I'm not just saying that because he wears the star on the side of his helmet. We said it. I said it. I got there's tape out there and footage of me saying it before the draft even starts. I said Caleb Downs the best player in this draft, right? And if we wound up with Caleb Downs, I was gonna be so excited, and we round up with Caleb Downs. I mean, I was super excited about that. Christine said best player in the draft, 100%. Absolutely, absolutely, and no arguments there. It's like um, the thing that I love to hear is from PJ Locke to Malik Hooker to CP Christian Parker to Shotty. They're all saying the same thing about Caleb Downs.
Hmm.
He's very smart. He works hard. He won't make the same mistake twice. That's all I need to hear.
Hmm.
That's all I need to hear.
And another thing I like about Caleb Downs is, like, I don't know if you've ever watched like their podcast, him and his brother.
Christine, you can't crash out, Christine. She
I
said,
don't
and how did we end up with nobody with 12 dang picks? Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Go ahead, Autumn.
um I don't know if you've ever watched the podcast with him and his brother, Josh Downs, who plays for the Indianapolis Colts. Like, he's humble until he's not. Like, he's one of those guys that he'll sit and he kind of like soak it all in, and then when he gets that perfect chance to say what he needs to say, he says it. So Chris Carter, I don't know if you saw the clip of Chris Carter, who yeah, and he went up to him, was like, hey, whatever, how you doing, whatever, and he was like, you got to be somebody to wear this number 2 at Ohio State. Like, you have to be somebody. I feel like I was the best person to wear this.
To wear that number, yeah.
And Caleb looked at him and was like, until now, and walked
Until
away.
now. You know
Like, it's the confidence for me. It's the confidence, but it's warranted because he really is a great player. He is, and I'm not saying that just because I'm a Buckeye fan. He really is that guy. He is.
Well, no, I mean, there's an old adage: you pay the cost to be the boss. This guy does that. You know what I'm saying? This guy does that, and he goes about his business, the business of playing football, as a business. He plays football. He's a football guy. Take what's up, boy? Take boy fresh up in here. He said, "Yeah, Caleb was a steal." Look, man, I'm gonna tell you. So when we talk about the two Ohio players, Caleb Downs, Malik Hooker, they just solidify the defense. You got one playing star, you got one playing free safety, and then you got Jalen Thompson, who was a really good player at Arizona, playing the strong safety. Now you got some insurance here. You know what I'm saying? We got some insurance, some guys that we'll talk about as well. You got PJ Locke. PJ Locke I've watched since college. PJ Locke was a Longhorn. What's up? You know,
Mark down.
I know. You going I know how you gonna feel here in just a little bit. You know what I'm saying? That it is what it is. We gonna incite a riot in Columbus. Um, but the thing about PJ Locke, he went to Denver and was a pretty solid safety for the Denver Broncos, right? In 2024, uh 50 combined tackles, 24 on the solo, one sack. And then he was hurt for the Broncos last year and didn't get a chance to play that many games. So when you look at his stat lines are skewed because of the fact that he was hurt. But PJ Locke is not a bad safety. He's a really good safety. And guess who he's familiar with?
Christian Ponder.
CP. Because CP came from Denver. So, you get an opportunity to work with a guy who you have coached previously, and he is your backup free and strong safety, right? And Christine said, y'all also have an elite wide receiver room, and we just pretending like ours has changed a whole lot from last season. I say this as I look at the signed Pickens jersey. Hey, look, man, we do have a wide receiver duo in CD Lamb and George Pickens. I mean, probably the hey, if not number one, number two. There ain't nobody else better than except Jamar Chase and whatchamacallit down there in Cincinnati. What's his name? What's the boy's name? I forget the boy's name. The other wide receiver for Cincinnati. Tatum, if he's watching, he'll probably tell me his name. But anyway, like I said, it doesn't matter. It's all about this. You know what I'm saying? So when we talk about it, CeeDee Lamb, George Pickens, and by the way, sidebar, CeeDee Lamb is catching strays out in these streets.
For what?
Eagles fans is out here talking about CeeDee Lamb had lost the step. CeeDee Lamb is not good, and CeeDee Lamb ain't George Pickens, and CeeDee Lamb ain't this, CeeDee Lamb ain't that. Let me tell y'all something, man. CeeDee Lamb is a top 5 wide receiver in the National Football League. Like it, book it, whatever. Let me tell you something. The man has 6 years straight of 1,000 yards. 6. Not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, but 6. And I'm fixing to go and read them to you. So just in case somebody wants to get on my nerves and get on my level and want to act up. So the one year, the 935 was the year that Dak almost had 3,000-yard receivers, by the way. That was 2020. 2021, he had 1,000. 2022, he had 1,000. 2023, he had 1,000. 2024, he had 1,000. 2025, excuse me, 5 years. I'm sorry, 5 years of 1,000 yards. So 1,102 yards, 1,359 yards, 1,749 yards, 1,194 yards, and 1,077 yards. The USA has scored a goal, by the way. It is 1-1.
Oh, already.
It is 1-1.
So So
So
first of all, Eagles fans don't even like their quarterback who took them to a Super Bowl. I'm not really too sure if there's anything or too much of anything that I could trust coming out of their camp at all. That's all I wanted to say. Got my own issues. Like,
yeah, I mean, so I'm seeing not just Eagles fans. There's others talking about, oh well, in the Eagles game, and this is what they're talking about: the passes that CeeDee Lamb dropped. Okay,
okay, I remember when he did that.
we all remember those passes. We remember them. Okay, but you're allowed. Superman is allowed to be human on one day. You know what I'm saying?
Not
And
in still ago, apparently.
yeah,
Not in that fair.
the frustrating thing is you're acting, and Christine, you took me down this rabbit hole. Thank you. I would have never went down this rabbit hole if it wasn't for Christine. But honestly, when it comes down to it, you look at it, he still had 117 targets. He caught 75 of them. Stop it. Stop. He caught 75 targets for 1,077 yards. 14 yards a carry. 14 yards a catch with 3 touchdowns. Ye didn't have 12. Okay. Belgium just scored again. 2-1 Belgium.
Oh, it's 2-1. Okay, they had already scored. Okay.
Yeah, they just scored. They scored fast in the mug too.
Man,
And
what's going on?
you know that don't happen. You know that don't happen in a football game, soccer game, right? Autumn. Those Eagles should be happy. What is their problem? They not. Listen. They hate on us. They hate me. Remember that UFL football player? They said they hate me. You know what I'm saying? They hate me. They hate us. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. But if you look at that, CeeDee Lamb was hurt last year. He played 14 games. Literally, I'm finna tell you, finna really show you something else. He only really played 12. He only really played 12. Tyrone, what's up, baby? You better call Tyrone. That's my partner, man. That's my partner. So CeeDee Lamb got hurt in one game, only played half, the first half, and got hurt. I think what game was it? Denver game? It was one of those games. And then he was hurt in the second half of another game. So really, he only played 12 games, and in 12 games, he had a little over 1,000 yards, right? And he did that all while having a dog, all worldwide receiver on the other side, GP, right? So you can't tell me that Sedarius Lamb is still not him. Sedarius Lamb is him.
They do the same thing about that.
Yeah. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you for the sub, man. I thank you, Tyrone, man. So yeah, when we talk about this, I just want people to understand they're the reason why I say that this is the top 2 wide receiving duo in the National Football League. They are top 2. The Cowboys are top 2. It just is what it is. However you want to slice it. You want to say Cincinnati 1, Dallas 2, okay. Dallas 1, Cincinnati 2. Ain't nobody better. It just ain't nobody better. You know what I'm saying? But now we're getting back to the safety room. PJ Locke, like I said, 5'10", from Beaumont, Texas. He played with CP in Denver, and he's that guy who is going to provide, I think, excellent depth. You need depth at the safety position. When you start talking about the safety position, especially when we're going to be running the 3-4, right? Especially when you're going to be running 3-4 and multiple set defense, big nickels. You need this. You need versatility from your safety room. You need to be able to make sure that each one of your safeties is knowledgeable, who they know the defense, they know their keys, that they're picking it up, and you got some very cerebral guys already for the Dallas Cowboys, right?
He plays on special teams too.
Who, PJ?
Uh-huh.
PJ will not have to, right? Because the reason why PJ won't have to is because you still got Marquise Bell. If y'all remember, uh, 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 a couple years ago, Marquise Bell played linebacker for Dan Quinn in our defense when we were short and thin at linebacker. So Marquise Bell, HBCU kid from Florida A&M, who is one of them that is not afraid to stick his nose in there and knock your block off. But hasn't proved himself as an elite or even a good safety in the NFL. Then you got Julius Wood, who's another guy who would these are the guys that you're gonna be thinking about that's playing in your special teams room. Okay, yeah. You got Reddy Stewart. Okay, Reddy Stewart, light skinned brother, long hair. He's another one of those guys that's gonna be there. And Elijah Clark. These are guys that are gonna be playing backup roles to the guys that we're talking about. Caleb Downs, his backup would be Reddy Stewart and Zion Childress. Malik Hooker, his backup would be PJ Clark and PJ Locke and Elijah Clark. Jalen Thompson, his backup would be Marquise Bell and Julius Wood. Right. So that is our safety room. And when we say safety city, I believe in it. I believe we have four solid safeties. I believe we have four solid safeties. What about you, Autumn?
I feel like they solid too. Again, the I like the fact that there's a few veterans there that have been around that can, you know, make sure that Caleb, even though Caleb, I don't really think he gonna need a whole lot, y'all. I'm gonna just put it out there. Yeah, let me just put that out there. It's not a whole lot of a whole lot he gonna need, other than just getting acclimated to the level of play in the NFL. But it's good to have those guys around for someone like him, right? So I think we good. I think we good.
Yeah. Tyrone said, I like y'all's roster this year. My defense is the biggest question mark. How do you feel about your secondary, Mod Nottingham? We'll talk about that real quick. Thank you. When it comes down to our secondary, I'm really excited to see what we have. You have to understand, just like we've been talking about McCarthy is the quarterback whisperer, just like we've been talking about, defensive coaches, Patrick Graham, and these guys making a difference, right? You got CP who's made a difference in when you look at every place that he's made all pros at each place. Each place he's made an all pro, right? You have Deron Bland, who just a couple years back had 6 pick sixes. You know what I'm saying? 6 pick sixes. Took 6 of them to the house. The NFL record, right? Say it again.
That's crazy.
It
Six.
is. It is crazy. 6 pick sixes. Took him to the you know what I'm saying? And went to the house with him. So you got Kobe Durant, who was a solid player for the Rams last year. Siobhan Revelle, listen, anytime that you have a ACL tear or ACL injury, it takes a year for you to bounce back. You're not coming back from that next year playing out of this world. That's not the tendency. That's not the tendency for it to happen at all, right? When you have a ACL tear, it takes you a year at least. And guess who's off? Who's a year off and starting to move around without his brace? That's Siobhan Revelle. That's Siobhan Revelle. I mean, this was a East Carolina guy who ran a 4.340. He's a guy. He's 6'2". He's an avatar. He's one of those avatars that you want to see. And he's gonna be one of those out on the corner. Kayla Carson. Kayla Carson is a guy that you guys from the Big Ten will know. But he called himself Seatbelt. He was over there at Purdue. I'm thinking he was either Purdue guy. Let me see. I'm almost positive he's a Purdue guy. No, he's Wake Forest. One of them dark colored teams. Wake Forest team. But Kayla Carson played his butt off in minicamp 2 years ago and earned a spot on this team. Last year, the defense was so bad you couldn't tell if it was him or if it was live or if it was Memorex. I mean, It was bad. It was bad. Eberflus was horrible. He was garbage. He was the gum on the bottom of your shoe walking through a mud pile. It was bad. It was bad, man. It was bad. So, I do like Caleb Carson. I think he's gonna be good. And of course, you got at that corner you got Devin Moore behind Deron Bland, who we just picked up in the draft. Josh Butler, who I really like, and Amir Speed, who we picked up in free agency. So, well, no, actually not free agency. We picked him up from the UFL. So, I mean, to answer your question, Tyrone, we ranked this. Autumn and I did a rank show, and one being the lowest, 10 being the highest, right? And I ranked this defensive back room at a 7. I think Autumn gave it a 6.5. And again, yeah, again, when you think about it, with CP, that's different. 6.5 is probably an 8, and a 7 is probably 8.5. So a 9. You know what I'm saying? So I think CP is gonna coach these boys up, put them in the right place. They say Kobe Durant has looked well. He's looked really good in minicamp, right? So that's something that I like. He said,
it's better than the 3 than there where we was at. You know what I'm saying? Like it's what were you saying? You kept saying all we needed was a stop here or there to win the game. So you know what I mean?
just it was so, man. Listen, I don't want even want to think about it. I'm my my heart is getting broke every time I think about it. You had the number one offense in the world, and you have you had the 100th ranked defense, and it's not possible. It's only 32 teams, but they were really bad. Tyrone say I'm an OSU fan, and y'all got to steal. Caleb Jones will be great for. We've been saying that. We've been saying that. Hey man, I don't know how it worked out that we got the best football player in the NFL draft. I don't know how that happened. I don't know how it happened, but I like it. He said, I like Devin Moore from Florida too. Everybody has been talking about Devin in a very low key way. He ain't really kind of how he's been floating under the water like Malachi Lawrence. You got a dog in Malachi. Autumn did a piece on you. You should go check out Autumn's short on Malachi Lawrence. But you got a dog. He just ain't really showed himself yet, right? And that's the same way they've been talking about Devin Moore, right? He has the prototypical body. When you look at him, he's 6'3", played at Florida, so he had to guard SEC wide receivers like Jeremy Bernard, Wingo, like Cam Coleman. He had to guard those kind of guys, So and then you had 2 defensive backs from the SEC go in the top first round of the draft. So hey, that's saying something right there. So honestly, when we talk about this safety room, in conclusion, Autumn, who do you think outside of Caleb Downs? Because I already know you're gonna do this. Who do you think is gonna have? Who do you think is gonna have a breakout year? Out of, and I'm just gonna make it easy. Out of the 4, we'll talk about PJ Locke, Jalen Thompson, Caleb Downs already out, and Malik Hooker. So Malik Hooker, Jalen Thompson, PJ Locke. Who's gonna have the better year?
I'm gonna go with. I think I'm gonna go with Jalen Thompson. I think I'm gonna go with Jalen Thompson because he's consistent, and that's a big deal for me. So yeah. I think that's who I'm gonna go with. And if even if he levels up a little bit, even if he doesn't, like consistency means something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We know that we'll get something decent from him. So hopefully he might be the one that break out though. He might surprise us.
Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. At strong, Jalen Thompson at strong. I think, you know what? I think Malik Hooker's gonna have a bounce back year. I really think Malik Hooker is gonna have, because if you look, I just feel like Malik Hooker stopped trying. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, honestly, I'm not gonna lie, and I get it. Because Donovan, I forget Donovan's last name. Is it? I want to forget his face. Yeah, I want to forget everything about Donovan at this point. I just know he came from Texas A&M, and look, he was just so bad. Like if you think back against the Green Bay Packers when we went to the playoffs the year before, right? We were getting torched. You want to know why we were getting torched? Daggone Dono.
Ugh. So you feel like Malik was just like, I'm here. I'm here. We gonna finish out this season, and we just gonna hope next year is better. Can't do it
No,
all.
I know that. I know that for true. Like, I mean, you could see it. It was written all over his face, like the Rude Boys. You didn't have to say a word. You know what I'm saying? He was definitely uh he was definitely just going through the motions, and I didn't like to see that, but I understood it. I understood it for real, and but I think Malik Hooker under CP is gonna have a great year, great year. But parting shots, Autumn, talk to me, man. Give me your parting shots.
Um, my parting shots about these safeties. I'm just glad let me tell you, I'm just glad Jerry Jones went on ahead and opened up his pocketbook and did whatever he needed to do to get the best player in the draft. Okay, he did what he needed to do to get the best. Now, and what we've been saying over and over, we got the chemistry. All we need is we just gotta lock in. That's it. That's it. It's like really, I don't think we have any excuse. I think our roster is pretty decent, even on the defensive side. I think that we're decent. We just gotta lock in at this point. That's it. That's it.
Agreed. Now we've been talking. Um, my parting shots are here. We've been talking a lot, Autumn, and we've been talking from the standpoint that I think even with our shows, we've been building up uh, a narrative here. So with Dallas, best believe the hype. Okay, with Dallas, we're building the Great Wall 2.0. I mean, well, 3.0 now, right? Um, and we're bringing that with Tyler Town is equaling Title Town, right? Uh, and then now you combine it with another part of the team that I think that's thorough in Safety City, right? We're building something here, and the narrative is that we're going to be better. Tyrone, we're going to be better than we were last year defensively. My statement has always been if we were between 15 to 20 in defensive stats, if this was the between 15 to 20 in total defense, we would have not only went to the playoffs, that we would have caused havoc in the playoffs because this offense was truly hard to manage, right? So we're looking at CP bringing a new hype in here, and then not only are we looking at CP bringing new hype, we're also looking at some of the new players that have came to Dallas, and then looking at some of the new coaches. I keep saying, BT Jordan, you seeing these boys out here working, man. Like I just seen Rashawn Gary out here working. I just seen Malachi Lawrence out here working, right? And BT got other clients. He's working with Flash, Miles Garrett, and Will Anderson from the Texans, and you saw them out there getting that work. This is a guy, man, who's teaching the game. I also have seen Tyler Guyton out here in these streets in Oklahoma, working with Lane Johnson. I'm telling you, it's a different feel around the Dallas Cowboys this year. Do not be surprised if we're standing there in the end. Do not be surprised if we're standing there in the end. This team has what it takes. It has what it takes. The only question mark I've ever felt we had going into this season was RB2. And again, Autumn did a great piece on our RB2, Jaden Blue. Y'all need to check that out. And my thought process here is if we can get any type, I'm talking about any type of production from RB2, y'all in trouble. Y'all in trouble. But like I said, I appreciate you guys for watching the Cowboys Global Cast here with me and Autumn the Aries. Make sure that you like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. Like us on Facebook, subscribe on YouTube and Twitch so when we go live, you'll definitely get those notifications. Autumn, you got anything before we get out of here?
That's it. Don't be surprised.
See, like, don't be surprised. Hey, man, we thank y'all for rocking with us, man. We going to get out of here. We will see y'all same bad time, same bad channel next week. We out of here. Peace.